Hey, I want to welcome you to this video, and just before I get started, I wanted to say that I have a different video in this short series about why I was a teacher, why I liked teaching, why I wanted to teach, what I enjoyed about actually teaching, and why I left the teaching discipline. So in this video, I want to talk about what I enjoyed about teaching. And in the process of teaching, there were some things that I enjoyed. And one of those things was that I actually did get opportunities for students to ask me serious questions about life and things that were personal opinions that they really, truly wanted to hear. And they were seriously interested in those things that I had to say. And it helped deepen the relationship between me and them. It gave me more respect from them, and it didn't detract from teaching the content. And it helped strengthen when I was teaching. It helped strengthen their focus. And so, for example, one of the students, she felt, I guess, ostracized or out of place in the classroom. And she realized, I think, that a lot of people in Mississippi have sort of a Christianese worldview. And some people still will, I guess, put someone out or be rude to someone who was like her. She was openly homosexual, and she wanted to know what I thought about that. And I didn't tell her that that I was against her, and that's the honest truth. I'm not against people who think that they want that. They want to have sex with someone of their own gender. People with gender dysphoria, I don't have any problems with them as a human being. So I think this was an important opportunity to build trust with the student, and that I was able to appreciate who they were in front of the class. Not that I would celebrate. I was able to clearly communicate that I didn't celebrate their choices, but that I valued them regardless of what they did. So I said, I think that if you define yourself by your sexuality, you'll destroy yourself. It doesn't matter whether or not you are, quote, homosexual, heterosexual, or anything else. If you define yourself by what you can get sexually, if you define yourself by something that you can do, you'll destroy yourself. And by and large, in general, if you define yourself by wealth or by all these things, you're never going to be happy. And it's because, and it's by nature, because we're humans, we're not made for satisfaction in this world apart from God. And we were made in a certain way, and physiological aspects of our being are unique. And so I was able to share, when a man and a woman make a baby, they are performing what is natural to their body. There's no way that you can go against the fact that you have to have, as a male, the ability to inseminate a woman. And you can't go by against that in nature, even if you change your outward appearance. And that when we do things like this, we make it harder for ourselves to fit in with not our society, but within our own nature. And it's difficult. We were made to have a relationship with people in a family unit, There's stability in that. There are features of it that are irreplaceable, and that society wants to mimic and replace. So, for example, parental advice, the stability of a family unit. People make other types of families, like gangs, or like clubs, or I guess expression sessions. So you have a small group or something devoted to your tragedies and stuff. And I think in some ways those might be useful, but none of those are replacement for the parental role in assisting and helping a child. Other things like helping a child when they lose their job, or a family member dies, or someone who's close to them. The parents help the children. Well, and then also conversely, the children should help the parents. And when the parents get old, the children help fund them. Maybe they take care of them. And so that's the way the family works. Anyways, so those are things that I love, to introduce to people, that's by nature. Those things are integrated into the family, and by design, we can make use of those things to help people. So that was just one example. I was able to teach them life lessons. And so forgiveness, for example, some students had an issue with someone else, and I was able to take a story and tell them about that story, and how I was able to give forgiveness to someone, how to apologize, how to practically do this in a classroom environment. That's what I was trying to do. Something else that I enjoyed was being able to listen to them, being able to show them that I wanted their opinions, that I wanted them to actually speak. And so I gave them a question or something that we were supposed to have class discussion for, and I wasn't looking for a particular answer. I wanted them to practice thinking, to express themselves, and be able to disagree and come to maybe this point where they say, well, we see differently on that, but that's okay. And I think this is something that's important for me to see other people do, because in our culture in America right now, on political sides, you have people on both sides who cannot stand to have someone disagree with them. And it's basically like, if you disagree with me, then I don't want to be your friend at all. I can't even stand you being in my presence. And that's something that students need to learn. And that's something that I loved to be able to model for them, to show them why we need to do this. We need to do this because respect is something that you give people, not because they've earned it, but because they're human beings. And, that plays into the idea of respecting authority, respecting me as your teacher, not because you know me very well, but because I have a role as a teacher to be your authority, to basically be there as the guide for your learning. And that plays for the principals or the officers in the school. And this applies to police officers. I gave them an example of how I didn't want to obey the speed limit, but I had to respect the authority of the police officer, not because I knew the person, but because he represents a higher thing. That's the law of caring for others. I gave the example that I was going way too fast. I got a speeding ticket for going over 90 miles an hour in a 65. And that's dangerous. And the reason why the speed limit is there is not because people are just trying to get their ticket tally for the month to increase revenue. I'm sure that happens in small towns, but by and large, it's for protecting people from themselves, protecting people from recklessness. And if the speed limit wasn't there, you would have people who just do whatever they want. You can actually see that in Memphis. People have the speed limit, but by and large, it's not enforced because there's so many people who just do whatever they want. And it's absurd, and something that people need to respect the authority. Otherwise, you won't have enough cops. There will never be enough police in order to enforce people who do not respect authorities. So those are some of the reasons why I enjoyed teaching. I guess the last reason for me would be I was able to be in a leadership role that would prepare me for potentially other leadership roles and provide an example of what to do for students. And I guess that's reflected in some of the things that I've shared already, but I wanted to do that so that it would be guiding them to doing hard things, doing things that were challenging for them, because they saw that even though it was a challenge for me, I could persevere and push through it to the end of my commitment, even though it was difficult. And I fulfilled my commitment. I taught all year long, and I ended the year with this weird COVID thing. And anyways, I won't get into that, but that's what I liked about teaching. So that's this video. And if you want to see what I said about why I wanted to teach, or you want to hear why I left, those other videos are on my channel. So I'm going to put those in the description, those links in the description, and give me a like if you like this video, and check out my other videos and subscribe if you want to. I'm not trying to make any money off of this. So just hear me out. And in the next video, I'm going to share some data from others about teachers and why they are leaving. I'm not the only one, and I feel glad almost that there's more than just me. But anyways, so thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.